We will begin in a moment. Get comfy. We're about to start. Hope you brought your noses with you this evening. Hello everybody and welcome to my first, I can't believe I'm saying this, my first YouTube live stream of 2025. It's okay because the year's just begun, so I haven't missed out on too much. But I'm really glad that you've decided to join me today. And I've just been looking at the chat as I was getting ready, and I can see people from all over the world. And I'm so grateful that you have given me some of your very limited time on this beautiful planet to come and breathe with me, and as a thank you I'll make sure that I give you hopefully a very good session. So just if you can, give me a little nod or a wave or a comment if you can hear me okay. Let me know if the sound's too loud, too quiet, or just about right. I'm going to share a little bit about what we're going to do this evening, and the whole class will take probably about an hour, give or take, and it will be recorded, so if you miss out, you have to rush off and have your dinner, you can come back again. So let me do a little screen share, and let me knock that music down. I will also let you know that I found some very lovely software today, as I'm playing with it now. I'm like a very happy child on Christmas Day because I've got all this wonderful software that I'm playing with. So things will go wrong, and that's okay because we'll breathe through it together. Okay, so there we go. So hopefully you can see my screen. So here's the loose plan. Things can go anywhere on these live streams, but I'm going to teach you a little bit about what I call Soothe, which is part of a bigger framework. And in short, I'm here to basically give you a lovely relaxed evening today. That's the plan. Let me see if I can bring me up on here as well. There we go. So the plan is to give you a lovely relaxed class this evening. So we're also going to do some guided breath work, obviously. Let's just move me out of the way. There you go. I told you things would go wrong today. Maybe we'll put me there. I've got some exciting updates to share as well. Very, very exciting things. So first live stream of 2025. About an hour will kick in. And I want to let you know you're in the right place. You know, I know you're already on a breathwork channel. You're on a breathwork live stream. So it's unlikely that this is your first foray into the art of consciously changing your breath. But just in case, let's just go over something here. For me, it's the foundation of our health. You know, everything's important. Of course, diet's important and exercise is important. But actually, I feel that most of us spend our time trying to build our castle on top of a very sandy foundation. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, most experts tend to agree now about 9 out of 10 of us can't breathe properly, and it's not our fault. You know, the modern world is working against us. And the saddest part of all of it is it's actually quite simple to fix. We can fix our breathing. And I'm going to share some of that with you today. And this lovely gentleman here who wrote the Bible of breath, of breathing, James Nestor, he said, no matter what you eat and how much you exercise and how resilient your genes are, or how skinny or young or wise you are, none of it will matter unless you're breathing correctly. I don't think anyone's put a better statement together about the power of the breath. And of course, diet's important and exercise is important and sleep's important, but we've got to fix our breathing. And that's what I'm going to take you through a little bit today. So I'm going to give you a little taster session today. This is just a little something that we've put together over the last 9 years that we're calling the Breathwork Reset Method, which I'm very, very excited. I'll give you a very quick walk through now. And I know what you're saying. Yeah, Mike, just get on with the breathing. And I will. I'll get there. But it gives you a little bit of context. It'll help make a little bit more sense about what we're doing today. So I was very lucky that over the last 5 years, maybe 6 now, I've got to interview some of the world's top experts, scientists, authors, yogis. It's been an incredible ride, and I've had the ability to ask questions for all these people, you know, the collective, I don't know, century or more of expertise that we've been able to pick the brains of and understand. And then about 3 years ago, I started to see some patterns and pictures come together, and I thought, wow, okay, that's what that other person said. And that backs up what this person said. And so what initially looked like it was a conflict actually was a more complex pattern. And so there's a lovely quote by, I think it's Abraham Lincoln. I apologize if I get this wrong, but he said, I would have wrote you a shorter letter if I had more time. And I love that quote because to make things simple, it actually takes a lot of time and complexity behind the scenes. So hopefully what you're about to see here is quite simple, but it wasn't that simple pulling it together in the first place. So let me take you through some of this. So the first step, there's 5 steps, there's 5 gates, if you will, that you have to walk through to reset your breathing. And I really like the word reset. And I think it gets overused a lot because we're not computers, we're not VCRs. I'm showing my age a little bit here. You can't actually reset us. So what is a reset? Well, actually in this method, the word actually means something. So the first step is release. And this is really important. So we've got to release our body, we've got to release our diaphragm, we've got to release our rib cage. Because actually, if you have a Ferrari and the wheels don't have tyres on, it doesn't matter what you do with the fuel and how much you polish it and all that sort of stuff, it doesn't move. And that's the same with us. So it doesn't matter about box breathing, coherence breathing, all those things. If actually your rib cage is really tight and your diaphragm's a bit weak and you're engaging your shoulder muscles and all these things, actually, it's not actually going to be that helpful doing a breath hold or some box breathing. Yes, it will give you some short-term benefits, but you've got to fix the foundations first. So the first step is release. The second step is energize. So breathing and sleep are like best friends. They got to be together. And when your breathing's off, your sleep is off. When your sleep is off, it's affecting your breathing. So we look at the latest ways that we can use gadgets and gizmos and breath work and what ancient science tells us about sleeping properly. The third gate is soothe, balancing the nervous system. We're going to play with that today. Gate 4 is embodiment, feeling your feelings. Look, I'm in the way again. Can I move me out of the way? Let's have a look. Let me put me over here. So embodiment, really, really important. Feeling our feelings. We are stuck in our heads way too much. And then the final gate that we have to walk through is tolerate. So think Buteyko if you know about your breathing. Think about slow breathing and breath holds. Think about a slower breath links to a slower heart rate. It leads to deeper sleep, and it's all connected. So they're not individual pillars. They all are connected together. And the cool thing about today is we're going to play a little bit in soothe. So this is the framework. This is really the first time I've spoken about this publicly. We've taken hundreds of clients through this and they've paid thousands of dollars to work one-on-one. And I'm really excited that we're bringing this as a group. So a couple of things for your diary. We are going to do 2 things. So this is obviously on YouTube. I'm going to be running a free training this Sunday on Zoom, and it'll be capped at 100 people. So we won't be able to, go past that. I've just popped a link in. I'll pop it again into the chat. It'll also get you on the waiting list for our reset course, because the breathwork reset method, we're actually going to be teaching it over 5 weeks to a small group of people. So the link's in the chat. It's also in all the streams and stuff as well. It just gets you on the wait list. We're going to release tickets for the breathwork reset method itself on Sunday, and I'll talk more about that later. But for now, you might be thinking, well, I'm not too fussed about that. I actually want to come do the free training. Perfect. Both, it's the same link. It gets you in, and I will give you the link to Zoom for Sunday. And that's going to happen at 5 p.m. London time, which is 12 p.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday, and it'll be recorded as well. But either way, I'll get yourself on the list. I'm very excited about sharing that with you. Okay, a couple of last bits before we get stuck in. I know you want to do the breath work. Let's just acknowledge that we don't live in the most optimal time for human biology. Now, from a medical point of view, from a antibiotics point of view, from a Wi-Fi perspective, from getting on a plane and going to another country perspective, it's obviously really cool. But from the point of view that our ancestors, very similar to us, if not identical, lived very different lives. We're outdoors, we moved a lot, we climbed, we sprinted, we played in groups of around 150, if you believe in Dunbar's number. We were grounding, we were doing very important things to keep our bodies balanced. And things have changed. We've fallen far from the path, very, very far from the path, and it's a problem. It's affecting us. It's affecting us in many ways. And so the first thing I always say to a client is, you're not the problem. You're not broken. You're not the problem. The modern world is the problem, because I don't think our hunter-gatherer ancestors needed breath work. I don't think they needed hypnotherapy. I don't think they needed massages. I think they were able to deal with the land. And of course, there was loads of tragedy that happened in that time as well. Let's not pretend it was Disneyland. But I think a lot of these things we're having to dip into today are because of the modern world working against us. And so once we acknowledge that and go, okay, we're not the problem here, it's the artificial light and the sitting all day and the soft foods and the chronic stress of the emails, then everything starts to make a little bit more sense. And then where breathwork comes in is the modern world is working against our breathing. So being seated, watching people on TV not breathing properly, watching our parents not breathing properly, chronic stress, all these things are affecting our breath, and in turn it's affecting our nervous system. And when we put ourselves through a breathwork reset, like I shared a few moments ago, that's when we can get ourselves back to a baseline and we can start to balance and we can start to get deeper sleep and we start to improve our energy and our mental clarity. And then from that position, we can rebuild. And that's why I love teaching breathwork. I will teach that to you today. So I'll come back to all that good stuff in a little while. Let's go back onto me. So there we go. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a teeny tiny bit of breath awareness. Okay, now just a little bit on this. So breath awareness is really important because it's the first breathing exercise. It's the first one, and it's not even changing the breath. It's actually just being in and noticing. And so what I'm going to ask you to do in a moment is close your eyes and just watch your breath in just a couple of bits. Don't judge it. Don't make it wrong. Don't think, oh crikey. Just the best way I like to do this is to imagine I'm standing on a beach and I'm watching the waves come and go. And as they come and go, I wouldn't want them to change. I wouldn't judge them for being wrong, or too deep, or too shallow, or too fast. I just want to enjoy the waves lapping against the beach. So go ahead and gently close those eyes and just start to bring the attention inward and just start to notice your own breath. Bringing the attention to the nose and just for a moment, just noticing how sensitive your nose is. Just noticing that the air is a little cooler as you breathe in and it's a little warmer as you breathe out. Bringing the attention now to where the breath wants to go. So as you take your next natural inhale, just start to notice like which parts of your body start to fill up. So just breathing normally, naturally. Maybe it's the belly, the chest, the back, the shoulders, none of it, all of it, some of it. It doesn't matter. Just notice where the breath goes. I'm going to give you some relaxation cues just to see what that does to the quality of how you feel in your breath. So give your jaw a little bit of a wiggle. Scrunch the eyes and the neck and the face and then let it go. Just so you can feel what tight feels like and then release. Relax the back of the shoulders. In fact, give the shoulders a roll back and down. And just sit up a little straighter if you can, if you're using the back of a chair. And now I would love for you, I can't see you, you can see me. But I'd love for you to put a little smile on your face. Just a little cheeky smile and just notice what that does to the quality of your breath. And if you can, make that smile 10% more, 20% more, 30% more, just for a few seconds. And then just relax. Just spending another 30 seconds just noticing how you're breathing. We'll come back to this at the end. As you're going through tonight, ask your questions in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Good. And then just gently coming back, wiggling fingers and toes. All right, so it's more of a meditation than a breathing exercise, really. But we've got to check in. I always think, a sat nav, we even have sat navs anymore, Google Maps is useless. You can put in the direction of, the restaurant you want to go to, but if it doesn't know where you're starting from, it doesn't work. And it's the same with breath work. We are so eager sometimes to go in and make a load of changes and start tweaking things, but we never checked in. We didn't notice what was going on, and we didn't go back and check afterwards. And so, what difference does it make? I have infamously talked about, I've mentioned, I did Wim Hof breathing for 2 years after I spent time with Wim, in 2016. And at the time I was like, oh, this is great. I'm blowing off stress. And after 2 years, I realized I got a bit more anxious and nothing could really resolve itself. Now, what I've learned as a breath coach is that we're all different. And some people absolutely thrive off a hyperventilation exercise. It blows all their stress off. They feel really chilled. They've got great heart rate variability. They're in a great space. Other people, majority of people, tend to need to slow it down and relax and soften because we're going too fast anyway. We've got the coffee and we're running around and we're flying through space and time. And actually the last thing we need is to go fast. We actually just need to slow it down, and we're going to do a bit of that today as well. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if this technology is going to let me down or not. Oh, something's happening. There we go. Oh, there we go. Very cool. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of the double inhale technique to start off with. Let's make that a little bigger. I'm going to guide you through this. So let me just pause that for a second. So this has been made famous by Dr. Andrew Huberman. Physiological side, double inhale. It's been around. There's nothing new in breathwork. Let's be clear. There's ancient texts going back thousands of years. This is a really beautiful technique because it allows us to fill all the way up. Take an extra sniff. We open up the lungs. We can hold for a couple of seconds and then we let go. And I like to let go vocally. I like to stimulate the vagus nerve, help the nervous system relax a little bit more. So what we're going to do is I'm going to guide you to inhale, sniff, let go. And we're going to do a few rounds of that together. And we'll just check in as we go. And then we're going to go a bit slower, a bit gentler. But this is a lovely, lovely reset. If you're ever feeling super stressed, have a crack at doing this a couple of times. So let's play a little bit more music. Okay, here we go. So you can do it eyes open or closed. Let's take a nice big full deep breath in. Take a sniff on top. And then let it go. And we're going to keep going. We're going to do this a few times. We breathe in around 60%, 70%. We're trying to fill up. So we inhale, we sniff, and we let it go. Okay. Let's skip this a little bit. There we go. Here we go. Sniff and exhale. Inhale, sniff, and exhale. Let the shoulders drop, let the face relax, let the air out. Let's go again. Nice big inhale through the nose. Sniff on top, let it go. A few more rounds. Inhale through the nose, full breath. Sniff, let it go. We're going to do a couple of hums now as well. So we're going to inhale, sniff, and hum out. You can do either. Let's go again. Nice big inhale. Sniff on top. Let it go. When you're ready, inhale again. Sniff on top. And hum or let go. Good. I'm going to pause now. We're going to do a couple without the video now. Let's take the music down as well. So we're going to go a little slower. That was a bit fast. So we're going to go again. So I'm going to ask you to breathe all the way in. This time, I'm going to ask you to do 2 sniffs. I'm going to really open up. I'm going to hold for a second or 2. And we're just going to let it out. Okay. Now, at the end of this exhale, I would love for you to just hold your breath for like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Just something. Little pause. Okay, so let's do this together. I'll guide you through it. Breathe out for me first of all. Breathe it all out. Nice big inhale. Sniff. Sniff again. Hold. Let it out. And at the bottom of the exhale, just hold for 2-3 seconds. And when you're ready, take a recovery breath. Now just check in. We're a few minutes into this class. Just notice how you're feeling. Maybe you feel the same. Maybe you feel more activated. Maybe you feel a little calmer. Just sense check in, and feel free to pop it in the chat as well. Like, what are you noticing so far? We really want to tap into our feelings with breath work. It's really easy just to freaking go for it. But actually what we want to do is we want to savor, we want to enjoy. One of the things I learned from a wonderful guy called Paul Hughes, who runs Vivation, which is a conscious connected school of breathing. He says, you want to enjoy the inhale. I love that. Savor the inhale. So we're going to do that now. Okay. So I'm going to compile a few bits together. So just take a moment and picture your favorite smell. Now for me, the ones that people say is like lavender. So imagine some lavender up to your nose. Maybe it's freshly baked bread. That's another one. Coffee, depending on what time of day it is a really nice one. Cut grass is another one. So there's a few examples. Just pick one that works for you. I'm going to pick lavender. Now I want you to bring that lavender, that pretend lavender, up to your nose. Close your eyes. Bring the lavender up to your nose, and I want you to enjoy the smell as much as you can. So take a full breath and make it last as long as you can, and be like, and you want to enjoy every molecule of oxygen. Now, let's do that again. So breathe out. Bring your favourite scent or smell up to your nose. Let it just stay there for a second. And I want you to enjoy every part of it as slowly and as fully as you can. And let it go. Now, here's the thing. That is changing the quality of your breath. Now, if we picked a bad smell, I'm not going to mention any, you can think of a bad smell, and you put that next to your nose, it's disgusting. Quality of the breath. Think about bubbles. I got this from the lovely Tom Granger. You blow bubbles, you're changing the quality of your breath. You can't squeeze out the air. You got to gently blow it out. We don't talk enough about the inhale. The inhale's so beautiful, so cool. Should have called my channel Take a Deep Inhale. So the quality of the inhale is really important. They say, the inhale's sympathetic and the exhale's parasympathetic. Well, what if we made the inhale more relaxing, more enjoyable, more fun? We can. You just did. So we're going to combine that with what we're doing here. So physiological sigh. I'm getting all over the place. Let me bring it back. We're going to enjoy the inhale as much as we can, as slowly and as fully as we can. We're going to bring the lavender up to our nose. We're going to fill it all the way up. We're going to take 2 sniffs of air at the top to open up those lungs. We're going to hold a couple of seconds. We're going to let go. I think we'll do a couple of We're going to let go. And then we're going to sit empty for a couple of seconds. And we'll do, 3 rounds, and we'll see how we feel. Okay, let's go for it. So blow all the air out for me. Blow it all out. Bring your lavender up to your nose or your bread, and let's breathe in fully and deeply. Once you're full, take a sniff. Take a sniff. Hold full. And let it go. And hold empty for a couple of seconds. Take a recovery breath. We're going to go again. Blow it all out. Bring the lavender up to your nose. Full deep inhale. Sniff. Sniff. Hold. Let it go. Sit empty for me. Relax. There's nothing you need to do. Just be, enjoy, and breathe when you're ready. We're going to do one more. Recovery breath. Blow it all out. Lavender up to your nose. Nice big inhale. Sniff. Sniff. Do another sniff if you can. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Let it go. Hold empty. No need to do anything. Just be. Witness, as Wim would say. Witness. Observe. Feel how you feel. And when you're ready, breathe back in. Pop in the chat how you're finding this so far. Have I put you to sleep in a bad way? Have I put you to sleep in a good way? I don't know. Is this fun? Is it boring? Let me know. It's my first live stream in 2025 on YouTube and wherever else. We're all over the place tonight, by the way, everyone. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, I think. Although I might have gone wrong. We're on LinkedIn. So I don't know. People are watching from all over the place. It's very, very cool. Okay. So we've played with the physiological sigh. That's my gift to you. We savour the inhale. We take a load of sniffs at the top. Learned that from Tom Zetas and the lung packers of the freedivers, but very gentle. Stretch those lungs out. We hold at the top. We let it all go. Vocalise. Activate the nervous system. Activate the vagal nerve, the vagal tone of the vagus nerve. Let it all go. Hold at the bottom. Do a little bolt score, they would call it. And then bring it back. You can do it most places, so enjoy that. All right, we're going to play a little bit now with some... I think we're going to do a little bit of box breathing. So let me bring that up. Box breathing gets a little bit of a bad rap because it's one of those things that, like, it's the most common one. When you ask people, like, have you done breath work? They go, yeah, I've done box breathing. But we're going to play with it a little bit tonight and have a little bit of extra fun with it. Waking me up nicely in Aussie. Oh, thanks, Elaine. It's nice to have you on here. I've got an Australian here. Okay, we're global tonight, everybody. We're absolutely global. So let's do choose file. Let's pick the box. There we go. We're going to be doing some nice box breathing together. Exhale. So breathing out and a hold. Just get synced with this first. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Just getting in sync with it. We're going to play with our breath in a second. Pause. Exhale. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add a hum on the exhale, bring in some nitric oxide. So we're going to hum out on each exhale. Let's go. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. About another 2 minutes. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Last 60 seconds. See if you can breathe a little lighter now, a little softer. Exhale. Pause. A little bit gently, a little bit slower. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Let's do a little bit more. Relax the shoulders. Can you give a little bit of direction to just relax now? So I want you to soften the muscles in the face once again. Keep that jaw relaxed. Relax the back of the neck and the shoulders. Give them a little wiggle. I want you to loosen your tummy. Don't hold in your belly. Let it relax. Let the feet relax. Let the toes relax. Let the elbows relax. Let the ears relax. Allow all the muscles in your body to lengthen and loosen and lighten. And let's do this for another 60 seconds in a softer pose. Okay, here comes your final inhale. Gently and softly. Here comes your final pause. And here comes your final hum. Make this one loud and long. Keep going. Good. Good, good, good. Let's take a moment. Let's just check in with ourselves again. Let's stop changing the breath. It's always good to go back. We've got to feel those feelings. We've got to feel what we're doing. Why are we doing breath work? Why do we do anything? Why do we want to win the lottery? Why do we want to be rich? Why do you want to be ripped? Why do you want to be full? Why do you want ice cream? You want a feeling. That's all it is. It all comes down to feel. Well, you think, no, it's something else. I want it because I want, oh yeah, I do. I want the feeling. And so we want the feelings. So let's listen to those feelings. Let's tap into those feelings. Let's feel those feelings. Even if they don't feel very good sometimes, they're there to give us a message. And we'll get into this in the course itself. But for now, just notice how you are. Notice how your body's being held by the chair or the bed or the floor if you're standing. Just notice how you're being. Like maybe you're leaning towards one side or one part of you's touching the furniture in a slightly different way. So just checking in. Little grounding exercises. Good. Okay. Let's do a little bit of movement. I had a few plans for tonight. Let's do a little bit of movement. We'll do it in a seated position. But, we are a moving body. That Ferrari isn't going to work without the tyres, So we've got to move the body a little bit. So we're going to do something not too crazy. Don't hurt yourself, but just listen to your body. Let's just start to roll the shoulders back a little bit. So I want you to not rush this. I want you to go very slow. And I want you to roll them back, and I want you to try and feel all of the rotation. Nasal breathing in and out. Feeling those shoulders. Noticing that tension starting to melt. If you're driving, don't do this. You shouldn't be doing breath work if you're driving anyway. But if you're on the bus, on the train, at home, let's just do this. Let's just give our shoulders a little bit of love. Good. 30 more seconds. Keep the jaw relaxed. Good. Okay. What we're going to do now is a little bit of apple picking. We're going to open up the sides of our ribs a little bit. Okay. So the best way I like to teach this is above your opposite ear to your hand, there is an apple. The most delicious apple you ever saw. And it's a little bit out of reach. Tantalus. Can't quite get it. So you're reaching up to grab it and it's like, oh, I can't quite get it. And in doing so, we start to open up the sides of our ribs a little bit. So just a couple of apples to be picked, please. Grab those apples for me. Open up the sides of the ribs. And as you're opening up the side, this side, you're crunching down on this side. So we're opening and we're closing. And we're breathing nasally, we're breathing gently, we're breathing softly, we're breathing quietly. I think we'll do a couple more exercises. Hope you're having fun. I've just got somebody dropping from Italy. Ciao. I'm half Italian. I can't speak half Italian though. I know about 6 words, which is my shame. Okay, good. Shake the hands out. We're going to do a little twist, a little simple twist. I love this. I learned this from one of my community members, the lovely Leslie, the Pilates instructor. So we make a prayer sign like this. And we just, if you're in the chair, obviously if you're laying down, it's a bit different. I want you to just gently rotate one way and then the other. And we're just giving the ribs a little bit of space to move. Go a little slower. We're going to bring the breath in a second. We're just warming up. Okay. There's a good rule here, 80% of max. So I can really go for it. I don't want to. 80% of what I can do. It's a good way to avoid getting injured. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the breath in. So I'm going to inhale and twist now. So look, I breathe in. And I'm restricted now because I'm full of air. So I'm restricted, but that's good. I've got a stretch going on. And I exhale back to center. I'm going to go in the other direction now. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to hold for a couple of seconds. I'm going to exhale back to center. So you just do that in your own time. Inhale, go in one direction. Exhale back to center. And then inhale in the other direction. Good. Let it go. Okay, just a little bit of movement, nothing crazy, just a little something. We've been sitting for 45 minutes. So we're going to do a couple more exercises. Let's do a little bit of beautiful coherence breathing. So let's get that going. Okay, so let's just talk a bit about this for a second. Because there's many words we can use for this breathing exercise. Knock the music off. So coherence breathing varies in length. Generally people say 5.5, but based on your height, if you're taller, you'll breathe slower. If you're faster, you breathe more. But 5.5 breaths, 6 breaths kind of covers most people for most of the benefits. What are those benefits? Well, the ones that seem to be the most famously talked about right now, heart rate variability is being increased. In fact, I just interviewed the guy that did the world record for the breath hold over 10.5 minutes. And he's just been boosting his HRV, 108% increase. And I know coherence breathing is part of his repertoire, Tom Zitas. So it's really interesting. When we breathe this way, loads of benefits happen. Heart rate variability increases. What is HRV? It's the body's natural way, the heart's natural way to listen to stress and adapt. Your heart needs to adapt every millisecond to what's going on in your body. Okay. And when we're stressed, it can't listen and it becomes metronomic. It just beats. And the variability drops. We want a good variety. The body's constantly changing. We're standing, we're running, we're in hot, we're in cold, we're hydrated, we're not. The blood pressure's changing. The heart needs to do a lot of different things. And one way to boost your HRV is to do coherence breathing. It's great for sleep. It's great for resilience to stress. Seen that in a lot of sports studies with HRV and coherence breathing. It's just a lovely technique to help you wind down. So we're going to do a little bit of that now. It's on the screen. You can see it there already. I'm going to guide you through it. And we're going to play a little bit. Some of you may know me from the Breath Source app, which you should have if you do not have it. I'm on there live every week. It's $11 a month. It's amazing. Amazing value. Best breath workers in the world are on there. Now, I do what's called breath blends every week on there. I teach a specific class and I blend breathing exercises together because we're so time freaking poor. We don't have enough time to do breath work. So we blend different exercises. So we're going to blend tonight. And all that means is we just combine a few. We already done it. We did it with box breathing. We hummed. There you go. Humming box. It's a blend. Get some nitric oxide, just letting your breath down. You're building your CO2 tolerance. We did it at the start when we did the smelling of the lavender and we combined about 6 different exercises together there. So we're going to do it now with this. And it's going to be very simple. The right nostril is associated more with energy and being alert. And the left nostril tends to be more associated with calm and cool. They did these studies. They didn't tell people what was happening. They blocked up one nostril and asked them to rate how they felt after 15 minutes. And left nostril breathers tend to feel calmer. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently cap or block. I like the cap. Apparently it's better for your cranial nerves. We block the right nostril. I want you to breathe through the left. I want you to look at the screen. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to guide you through this coherence breath. So we're going to inhale and pause. I'm going to exhale. Inhale softly. Exhale gently. Inhale smoothly. And exhale. Softly in. Slowly out. Gently in. Gently out. In. Out. In. And out. Keep your nose where it is. Softly in. Softly out. Okay, good. Let the hand come back down. We're going to close off with a little bit of breath awareness, like we did at the start. Just a little samples tonight, a little smorgasbord of what the breath has to offer. So just gently close the eyes. Go back and notice the breath, no need to change it. Noticing the air slightly cooler on the inhale, slightly warmer on the exhale. Relax the jaw. Soften the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders. As if you're standing on the edge of a beautiful beach, just watching those waves come and go. You do the same, watching the inhale and exhale naturally unfold. How lucky we are to be alive. What an amazing time to be alive. Enjoy watching your breath. Savor it. What a gift. Allow the smile to increase. Let's dial it up. 10%, 15%, 20%. Force it if you have to. Because why not smile more? Why not enjoy your life a little more? Why not enjoy the breath a little more? How do you feel right now? What do you notice? And how do you feel compared to 50 minutes ago? "30 more seconds. Enjoy watching your breath. Enjoy it even more." Good. Okay. And let's pause. Well done. Well, you completed the class with me. I hope you enjoyed that. There will be a replay for anybody that's just asked. I've just saw a couple of questions. Tonight was a little smorgasbord, a little taste, a little sample of what is in you already. We were given this gift by God, the universe, the creator, who knows? We were given this gift to change our breath. And when we change our breath, we change how we think and feel. How amazing. We forget that. It's like when you go outside, you haven't seen the stars for ages, and you go outside, you're like, shit, there's loads of stars outside. Look at us, we're on this ball flying through space. I forgot because I've been watching Netflix and I've been doing all this other stuff. I forgot we're on this planet of rock through time and space. I forget that I have access to these ancient tools, these amazing gifts that in some aspects can only take a few seconds to change everything. And we reach for caffeine and we reach for alcohol, and we reach for all these other things when actually we could just change how we breathe. So thank you for changing how you breathe with me tonight. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed anything at all. I would love to know how you felt. And let me just share with you what's going on, because we've got some very exciting things happening. So this Sunday, there's 2 big things kicking off. That's why we're doing this live stream tonight, to let you know what's going on. So first of all, we will be doing a live free training this Sunday at 6 p.m. Okay. Then directly after that, I will put tickets on sale for the breathwork reset method. If you missed the start of this, I'll cover it again in a second, but tickets will go on sale for that on Sunday. The only way to guarantee you're going to get a ticket for this 5-week program that starts in November is to be on the waiting list. The links are everywhere. So if you're on Facebook, they'll be down below somewhere. If you're on YouTube, they're in the videos, they're in the bio for me. I'm going to post them after this as well. But you want to join the waiting list, because when you're on that waiting list, you'll be invited to the free training on Sunday, and then the actual full method will kick in. What is the method? It's something we've been teaching to people now for many years in client sessions. It has 5 pillars, 5 gates. This is what I class as a true reset. If anyone says reset to you, ask them what they mean by reset, because I don't know the answer. I don't know what a reset is. We're not a computer. I don't know how we can be reset. But what this reset is actually an acronym, stands for something. So we release our breathing system. That's the first step. Most of us are too tight. We can't even get the Ferrari to move. It doesn't work. It doesn't move. The axles are stuck. We need to energize. We need to soothe our nervous system, and we do specific things there. We need to embody and feel our feelings, and we need to be able to tolerate our breath. Okay, these are the 5 gates, the 5 pillars that we must all walk through if we're going to truly reset our breathing. So we're not a VCR, we're not a computer. Reset is actually very specific things that we have to do. And I want to teach that to you, and I want to teach that to you in a group setting. I've been doing this one-to-one with clients now for years. This will be the first time I'm doing it in a group, and I would love for you to be part of it. So if you've enjoyed my breathy banter this evening and I've not annoyed you too much and you found it a bit of fun, then come and spend 5 weeks with us. There's loads more. I'll just give you a little sample of what's about to happen. We've got guests coming in as well. So I go live every Sunday in November. It's going to be 2-hour classes. Oh, I swear in England, apologies. There you go. It's 2-hour classes. I'll be teaching. You will get access to a community. I'm going to put it on school. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to do a Q&A every Saturday for an hour and bringing a guest in. So here's the guests we've already lined up. Tom Granger from Aria Breath will be teaching polyvagal theory in this course. Julie Worrell will be teaching you how to sleep. She's a sleep expert that runs a retreat out of Mexico. Very, very cool. We've got Alex Green, who seems to have taken over from Dr. Baselli when it comes to TR. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it seems like he is like the main honcho in trauma release exercises. He's coming in to teach us about our system. We've got Lottie Parrott coming in to release our fascia. This is all part of the course as well. And I'll be releasing onto the world my AI robot, O2D2. I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but you'll be getting an AI breath coach as well. And it's been trained on all of the material. We have 150 podcasts. We've bloody interviewed everybody. I've tested so many different things. We've got a coach, so you can do your breath assessments. It will give you a plan. You can ask it questions. It's not just random chat GPT AI garbage. It's been specifically trained on this method, which is really, really cool. So once again, you can go through the 5 pillars with me. We're going to be teaching all of this. And it all happens this Sunday. So get the free training this Sunday. If you just want the free training, that's okay. Maybe I can convince you in there you'd like to do more. If not, come and do the free training with me on Sunday. And then the actual course itself starts on the 2nd of November, runs for 5 weeks. Oh, how did I forget this? After the training is finished, I think, like, what can I do to give a ton of value? By the way, we've kept this price right down. It's $497. I'm not hiding the price. It's not a big reveal of like, oh, there's 10 grand. No, it's $497. You can split pay if you can't afford to pay it in one go. I can support you through that as well. We're going to cap it to a very small amount of people. We charge $5,000 to $5,500 now for this on a one-on-one program. I teach this over 12 weeks with clients, but this will be a group, 497. We're going to give you 6 months of training and coaching and live classes after it's finished as well. So it's a 5-week program, plus guests, plus AI breath coach, plus 6 months of coaching in live classes with me as well. So we've really tried to stack it up so that you can learn this method. And if you're a breath worker or a meditation teacher, you can take it and you can take what you've learned and you can use that with your students. And if you're looking to have more energy and more calm and less stress, then come and join us. At least join us on Sunday for the free training. Let me explain a little bit more. So thank you for listening to that. I truly believe in this method. I used it on me first, and we've used it now with hundreds of people and got incredible results. And so I can't wait to share it. I'm so excited. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. You only have, all of us have very limited attention, very limited lifespan. And you came on YouTube and you did some breath work with me this evening. And I want to honor you. And thank you so much for doing that. You freaking rock. Let's have a look. There was a couple of questions, I think. Somebody asked about exhales earlier. Let's just do the questions and I'll drop off. Will there be a replay? Yes, there will be a replay. It'll just go onto YouTube as a video. Somebody asked about exhales. I can't see it here, but I think they were saying, like, how do I extend my exhale? Well, a couple of things really. I mean, if you hum, you're going to really slow your exhale down, because if you can learn the ujjayi breath and learn to constrict, that's going to slow it down. I've got my little relaxator somewhere. There's loads of ways to train the exhale, but it starts with the inhale. You know how much air is in your system in the first place, because if you take a little tiny breath, you know how much you got to hum out what's in, right? Talking and not breathing and talking and breathing and not talking and not talking and not inhaling and keep talking and I've not inhaled and I'm talking, I've not inhaled. And so there's loads of ways you can squeeze the air out of your system slowly. It's practice. But probably the challenge that you're facing, I'm assuming, is that you're struggling to take a big breath. And that's probably because your rib cage is tight and your diaphragm needs some work, which we teach in the release module. But there are loads of ways to slow your breath down as well. What does the one nose breathing do? Okay, Claudia, yeah, great question. So we talked about this earlier, but different nostrils seem to be associated with different feelings. And so when you breathe through both nostrils, you should be more balanced. When you breathe through the right nostril, you tend to feel more creative and energized. And when you breathe through the left nostril only, studies have shown that people feel more calm and relaxed and sleepy and more down regulated. And so that's why we do that. Now, when we add the coherence breathing in, which we were doing as well, boom, now you're blending loads of benefits together and you're getting all these extra goodies of 5.5 breaths, heart rate variability boosts, you're increasing rest and digest, loads of lovely little things going on there as well. Okay. Thailand here. Hey, Cindy, I should be sleeping. You should be sleeping. Go and do some coherence breathing and go to bed. All right. Lovely. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm sure we will do another YouTube live stream, but thank you for being on the first 2025 live stream. It's a bit weird saying that in October, but thank you for being here. I've had an absolute blast being in this room talking to all of you. I think we got as high as 100 people at one point, which is amazing. So thank you all so much. The YouTube channel is full of good stuff. And once again, because there's still a lot of you here, get on to the waiting list, because that will guarantee that you at least get the free training this Sunday, and it means that you'll get first dibs at tickets for the full breathwork reset method. Thank you all so much. I love you all to bits. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon.